You know, the funny thing about people, they show you their best masks when they think you're watching. Polished smiles, rehearsed kindness, fake laughter. It's all a game, a circus of pretense. But the moment you close your eyes, or better yet, pretend to, that's when their real selves crawl out like maggots from a corpse. Yeah, I know what you're thinking. Oh, Joker, you're just cynical. You've seen too much. But let me ask you, have you? Have you ever stood still, closed your eyes, and just listened? Let them think you're too blind to see their schemes, too deaf to hear the venom they spit behind your back? No? Then you've been walking through life with your eyes wide shut, my friend. Let me explain. Picture this. You trust someone. Your best friend, your partner, your blood, even. You tell them your secrets, your dreams, your fears. You hand them the keys to the fortress of you. And what do? They smile, nod, pat you on the back like a good little actor. But when the spotlight's off, they rummage through your fortress, steal what's valuable, mock what's fragile, burn what's sacred. Why? Because they can. Because they think you're too weak, too blind to notice. You want an example? All right, I'll paint you a picture. There's a guy, let's call him Joe. Joe's got this friend, let's call him Sam. Joe trusts Sam with his life, loans him money when he's broke, covers for him when he screws up, even takes the blame when Sam's mess gets too big. And Sam? Oh, he's grateful, sure. Grateful enough to smile in Joe's face while plotting behind his back. One day Joe loses everything. Job, house, dignity. And where's Sam? Gone. MIA. Found someone else to leech off of. Joe learns the hard way that loyalty is just a word. And you're not Joe, are you? No, you're smarter. Or at least you think you are. But let me tell you something. Every Joe thought he was smart until the betrayal hit. Here's the kicker. People don't betray you because you're weak. They betray you because you're kind. Because you see the good in them, even when they don't deserve it. They hate that. Hate that you can still believe in something, in someone, when they've already sold their soul for scraps. That's why I say, pretend to be blind. Let them think you're clueless. Watch them strip off their masks. Let the rot underneath ooze out. But don't react. No, that's the trap. They want you to scream, cry, demand answers. Don't give them the satisfaction. You don't fight fire with fire, kid. You smother it. Now, let's talk about you. Yeah, you. Sitting there, clinging to your little shards of hope, your scraps of trust. I see it in your eyes. You still think there's good in them, don't you? Wake up. The world doesn't care about your hope, your trust. It eats people like you alive. Here's what you do. You learn to see without looking, hear without listening. You start reading between the lines. Every smile they flash, question it. Every compliment, analyze it. Trust me, the cracks are there. You just need to stop being so desperate to ignore them. Want another example? Look at me. People look at me and see a monster, a lunatic. But you know what I am? Honest, brutally, painfully honest. I wear my scars on the outside. Can't say the same for them, can you? They hide their scars, their sins, under designer clothes and fake smiles. But deep down, they're worse than me. I may be mad, but at least I'm not a liar. You need to toughen up, kid. The world isn't kind to dreamers, to believers. It's a battlefield. And you've been walking through it unarmed, hoping for mercy. Mercy? Ha! Mercy is a luxury for the powerful. And you, my friend, are not powerful. Not yet. But you can be. Oh, you can be. All it takes is a shift. Stop caring about their approval, their validation. Let their opinions fall off you like rain on stone. You've spent too much time trying to be their hero, their savior. Newsflash. They don't want saving. They want someone to blame when things go south. So, what's the plan? Are you gonna sit there, licking your wounds, waiting for someone to care? Or are you gonna rise? Not as their hero, but as your own. Build walls so high that their whispers can't reach you. Become so strong that their betrayal becomes nothing more than static noise in the background of your symphony. And when you've done that, when you've truly mastered the art of pretending to be blind, do me a favor. Don't hate them. Pity them. Pity their small minds, their shallow hearts. Because the truth is, they're already dead inside. And you're just getting started. Pretend to be blind, kid. And when they show you their true colors, don't be surprised. Just smile. Because in the end, you've won. They just don't know it yet. You think this is all a game? You think life hands you fairness, justice, or loyalty on a silver platter? Ha! Let me teach you the cold, hard truth, kid. The world is a stage, and you're not even in the audience. You're the damn punchline. They laugh at you behind closed doors. They clap when you fail. Why? Because your pain makes them feel a little less pathetic. But here's the thing. The punchline doesn't have to stay funny forever. One day it's gonna choke them. If, and this is a big if, you learn to play your cards right. Look at those who've burned you. Study them. Each one carries a little lesson, a little reminder of what not to trust. That friend who smiled too wide when you shared good news? That family member who vanished the moment you needed them most? They're all lessons in human nature. Lessons that most people ignore because they're too busy holding on to the fantasy that people care. But you're smarter than that now, aren't you? Let's take a moment to get real here. Pretending to be blind doesn't mean you're weak. It means you're playing the long game. You're giving them the rope to hang themselves. And trust me, they will. Every single time. They can't help it. It's in their nature. You see, people like to think they're good. They love to wrap themselves in the illusion of kindness, charity, decency, but strip away their comfort, threaten their ego, and watch how quickly that goodness turns into claws and fangs. They'll rip you apart, not because they hate you, but because they hate themselves. You're just the convenient scapegoat. Now, let me tell you about betrayal. Betrayal isn't a knife in the back. No, it's a scalpel. Precise, calculated. It cuts deep, but slow. So slow you don't even realize you're bleeding until you're lying there, empty, wondering how the hell you let it happen. And the worst part? It's always the ones you least expect. You remember that old saying, keep your friends close and your enemies closer? Nah, screw that. Keep everyone at arm's length. Trust is a weapon, kid, and you hand it out like candy on Halloween. Stop it. Learn to smile without meaning it. Laugh without feeling it. Play their game, but don't let them play you. Here's what you need to understand. People only care about you as long as you're useful. The second you stop being their stepping stone, you become their obstacle. And obstacles, they get bulldozed. You don't want to be useful to them. You want to be indispensable to yourself. Build a life so fortified, so unshakable, that their absence feels like a damn blessing. Take a look at the relationships in your life. Each one is a contract. Unspoken, sure, but a contract nonetheless. You give, they take. You love, they tolerate. You sacrifice, they demand more. Break the cycle. Rewrite the damn terms. No more giving without taking. No more loyalty without reciprocity. Let's talk about love for a second, shall we? Oh, love. The ultimate illusion. They'll tell you it's about trust, about vulnerability, about forever. Lies. All of it. Love is a transaction, a barter system. And the moment you stop delivering, the deal is off. You think they love you for who you are? No, they love you for what you give them. Attention, security, validation. And when someone else offers more, they're gone. Harsh? Maybe. But true? Absolutely. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying love doesn't exist. It does. But it's rare. Rarer than a perfect sunset in a storm. And until you find it, you need to protect yourself. Guard your heart like it's a treasure, because to most people it's just another toy to break. Now I know what you're thinking. Joker, this is too much. You're making it sound like everyone's out to get me. Well, aren't they? Maybe not intentionally, but self-preservation is the oldest instinct in the book. And when it comes down to it, people will always choose themselves over you, always. So here's the deal. Stop trying to fix people. Stop trying trying to prove your worth to those who don't see it. The moment you stop caring what they think, you become unstoppable. Their opinions, their judgments, their chains, and you're a prisoner. Break free. And let me tell you something else. When you finally open your eyes, when you stop being the blind fool, it's not gonna be pretty. You're gonna see things you wish you hadn't. Friends who were never friends. Family who'd sell you out for pocket change. Lovers who never loved. It's gonna hurt, like hell even. But pain is the price of clarity. You wanna be strong? Learn to embrace that pain. Let it shape you, sharpen you. Don't run from it. Don't drown it in booze or distractions. Face it, own it. And when the dust settles, you'll be someone they can't touch. Not because you're invincible, but because you've seen it all before. Pretend to be blind, kid. Not because you're weak, but because you're watching, observing, waiting, and when the time comes to open your eyes, make sure they see the monster they created staring back at them. You owe them that much. Remember this, the world doesn't break you, it reveals you. So let it, and when it does, show them exactly who you've become. You know what I hate the most? People who play the victim. Oh, they're everywhere crying about how unfair life is, how they've been wronged, how the world owes them something. You know what the world owes you? Nothing. Not a damn thing. It's not cruel. It's indifferent. And you're just another speck of dust in its grand, meaningless theater. So stop whining. Stop sitting there clutching your wounds like they make you special. Pain isn't unique. It's universal. Everyone's got their scars. The difference is some people wear theirs like armor, while others let theirs rot and fester until they become nothing but walking corpses of self-pity. Let me tell you a secret. Pain is power. Betrayal, that's a lesson. Abandonment, that's freedom. Every time someone wrongs you, they're giving you a gift, a reason to get stronger, a reason to stop needing them. But you keep treating these moments like tragedies when they're the best damn things that could happen to you. Take betrayal, for instance. When someone stabs you in the back, they're not taking something from you. They're exposing themselves. They're showing you who they really are. And once you see them for what they are, you hold the power. You can cut them off, walk away, and never look back. You can strip them of the illusion that they matter. And abandonment? Oh, that's my favorite. When people leave you, they're doing you a favor. They're trimming the fat, clearing the dead weight. You ever tried running with a ball and chain around your ankle? That's what those people are. Chains. And when they leave, They think they're breaking you, but all they're doing is setting you free. Here's a hard truth. You're not owed love, loyalty, or friendship. Those things aren't rights. They're privileges. And most people, they don't deserve them. You've been giving them away for free, handing them out like party favors. And then you're surprised when people treat them like trash? That's on you. Value yourself. Treat your loyalty like gold, your trust like diamonds, rare, precious, and only for those who earn it. And let me tell you something, very few people will. Most will take one look at the price and walk away. Good. Let them. You don't want those people around anyway. Let's talk about masks. Everyone wears one. Hell, even I do. But the difference between me and them, I know I'm wearing one. They don't. They think the mask is their real face. They've worn it for so long, lied for so long, that they've forgotten what they look like underneath. But you need to see through it. You need to look past the smiles, the sweet words, the promises. Look for the cracks. They're always there. People are like glass. Press them hard enough, and they shatter. And when they do, you see all the dirt, all the ugliness they've been hiding. But don't break them too quickly. No. Let them crack slowly. Let them show you their true colors, one lie at a time, one betrayal at a time. And when they finally fall apart, don't pick up the pieces. Step over them. Keep walking. You want to know what strength really is? It's not muscles or money or power. It's control. Control over yourself, over your emotions, over your reactions. The moment you let someone else dictate how you feel, how you act, you've lost. You think anger makes you strong? It doesn't. It makes you predictable. And predictable people? They're easy to control. So when they hurt you, when they lie to you, when they leave you, don't react. Smile. Let them think they've won. Let them think they've broken you. Because while they're celebrating, you're rebuilding. You're growing. And one day, when they're stuck in the same pathetic cycle of lies and betrayal, you'll be untouchable. Now let's talk about revenge. Ah, sweet, tempting revenge. I know you're thinking about it. You're dreaming of ways to make them pay, to make them suffer like you did. But let me tell you something. Revenge is for fools. It's a waste of time, a waste of energy. You don't get even with people by stooping to their level. You get even by rising so far above them that they can't even see you anymore. Success. That's the ultimate revenge. Not the kind they can see, though. No flashy cars, no big houses. Real success is internal. Peace, independence, strength. When you reach a point where their betrayal doesn't even sting, where their absence doesn't even matter, that's when you've won. But here's the thing, winning doesn't mean you won't feel the pain. Oh, you'll feel it, all right? It'll creep up on you in the middle of the night, whisper in your ear when you're alone. But pain isn't the enemy. Ignorance is. Denial is. Face the pain. Let it remind you why you're fighting. Let it fuel you. And when the pain fades, and it will, you'll be left with something else, something stronger, a version of yourself that doesn't need their approval, their love, their validation, a version of yourself that doesn't just survive, but thrives. Pretend to be blind, kid. Let them show their true colors. And when they do, don't hate them. Don't even pity them. Just let them go. Because at the end of the day, the only person you can truly count on is staring back at you in the mirror. Make that person so strong, so unshakable, that the world itself can't touch them. And when you've done that, then, and only then, will you truly see. Let them show you who they really are, and then show them who you've become. You know, I almost walked out of here. Almost. But there's one more thing you need to hear. One more piece to the puzzle. It's about you. Yeah, you. You're sitting there, soaking in my words, like they're gospel. But here's the kicker. You're still waiting for permission, waiting for someone, anyone, to tell you it's okay to let go, to walk away, to burn it all down and start over. Well, let me save you the suspense. No one's coming to give you that. No one's gonna pat you on the back and say, it's time to be strong. You want freedom? Take it. And let's get one thing straight. Being strong doesn't mean you don't feel. Oh, you'll feel it all, the pain, the betrayal, the loneliness. It'll hit you like a freight train, leave you gasping for air. But strength isn't about avoiding pain. It's about enduring it, living through it, carrying it like a badge of honor. Because every scar, every wound, every damn tear is proof that you survived when they thought you wouldn't. You think they care about you? You think they're sitting around, regretting what they did, missing you, feeling guilty? Ha! No. They've moved on. They've found someone else to leech off, someone else to use. And you? You're still here, stuck in the quicksand of your own emotions, letting their absence define you. Stop. Just stop. They're not worth it. None of them are. Every second you spend thinking about them, wondering what went wrong, what you could have done differently, that's a second you could have spent building something for yourself. Something real. Something they can't take away. Let me tell you a story. There was this kid once about your age. Let's call him Jack. Jack was soft, kind, always trying to help, always putting others first. And people, oh, they loved Jack for what he could do for them, for the way he made their lives easier, their days brighter. But one day, Jack needed help, just a little, just enough to keep him from falling apart. And guess what? No one was there. Not his friends, not his family, not even the ones who swore they'd be there forever. Jack fell hard, and for a while he stayed down, drowning in the betrayal, the loneliness. But then something clicked. Jack realized that the only person who was ever going to save him was himself. So he got up, slowly, painfully. He started cutting people off, one by one. The users, the liars, the dead weight. He stopped caring what they thought, stopped chasing their approval. And you know what happened? Jack became unstoppable. Not because he didn't feel pain anymore, but because he stopped letting it control him. He turned his scars into armor, his anger into fuel. And those people who abandoned him, they came crawling back. Oh, they always do. But by then, Jack didn't need them. He didn't want them. He had already built a life they couldn't touch. Now you might be thinking, that's just a story, Joker. That's not me. But let me ask you this. Why isn't it? What's stopping you from being Jack? Fear? Doubt? The little voice in your head that keeps telling you you're not enough? Let me tell you something. That voice, it's a liar, a parasite. And the only way to kill it is to prove it wrong. You've spent your whole life letting people tell you who you are, what you're worth. But do you even know? Have you ever stopped to ask yourself, who am I without them? Without their opinions, their validation, their love? You're terrified to find out, aren't you? Because deep down, you think you're nothing. Well, I've got news for you. You're not nothing. You're everything. You've just been too blinded by their lies to see it. Here's what you need to do. Start over. Wipe the slate clean. Let go of the people who don't deserve you, the memories that haunt you, the chains you've wrapped around yourself. It won't be easy. Hell, it'll be the hardest thing you've ever done. But when you come out the other side, you'll be unrecognizable. And when they see you, stronger, colder, untouchable, they'll regret every time they doubted you, every time they hurt you. But by then, their regret won't matter, because you'll have moved on. Pretend to be blind, kid. Watch them, study them, learn from their mistakes, their cruelty. And when the time comes to open your eyes, don't just see, act. Take everything they thought they knew about you and turn it on its head. Show them that the person they left for dead is the one who'll bury them, not out of hatred, not out of revenge, but because you've outgrown them. They showed you their true colors. Now, it's your turn to show them yours. You're not the same anymore, and neither is the world you thought you knew. The silence in the room grows heavier, as though the very air has absorbed the weight of his words. Yet somehow, it feels incomplete. The Joker's laughter fades into the distance, but his voice, His relentless, cutting, darkly motivational voice lingers. It's almost as if he's still there, lurking in the shadows, speaking directly to your soul. You know what's funny about this world? The people who hurt you always think they've won. They think they've broken you, left you in pieces, nothing but a shadow of who you used to be. And for a while, maybe they're right. Maybe you lie there, broken, bleeding, doubting yourself. But here's the twist. They don't realize that every piece they shatter becomes a weapon. Every scar they leave behind is another layer of armor. Think about it. When they lied to you, when they abandoned you, when they used you, they weren't killing you. They were remaking you. They were forging something stronger, sharper, deadlier. And the best part? They don't even see it. They think you're still the same soft, naive, trusting fool they took for granted. But you're not. Not anymore. Let's talk about trust for a second. Oh, trust. The thing they preach about in every relationship, every friendship, every family bond. You have to trust me, they say. Without trust, what do we have? What do you have? I'll tell you what you have. You have a leash around your neck. A leash they'll yank the second you stop being useful to them. So stop handing out trust like it's free candy. Make them earn it. And not with words, not with promises. Words are cheap. Promises are worthless. Watch their actions. See how they treat you when they have nothing to gain. That's the only time you'll ever see the truth. And even then, don't give them all of you. Keep something for yourself. Because the second they think they have you figured out, the second they think they own you, they'll start to take you for granted. And that's when the betrayals start. You ever heard the phrase, hurt people? It's true, you know, but not in the way they want you to think. They'll use it as an excuse, a shield. Oh, I hurt you because I was hurting too. Bull. They hurt you because they could. Because they wanted to. Because your pain made them feel powerful. But here's the secret. They're terrified of you. Terrified of what you could become if you stopped caring about their approval, their validation. That's why they hurt you, to keep you small, to keep you doubting yourself. Because the moment you realize how strong you really are, they're done. You think they regret what they did to you? Maybe. Maybe not. But does it matter? Regret doesn't change the past. It doesn't erase the scars. And it sure as hell doesn't make them better people. All regret does is serve as a reminder to them, not to you. A reminder of what they lost when they betrayed you. And you don't need their regret. You don't need their apologies, their explanations, their closure. Closure is a myth, kid. The only closure you'll ever get is the one you give yourself. When you decide you're done waiting for them to make it right. when you choose to move on, not because they deserve forgiveness, but because you deserve peace. Let's get real here. You're not a victim. Yeah, they hurt you. Yeah, they lied to you, used you, left you. So what? Everyone's been hurt. Everyone's been betrayed. What makes you different isn't what happened to you. It's what you do with it. You have two choices. You can let it destroy you, let it turn you into a bitter, broken shell of who you used to be. Or you can use it. Use the pain, the anger, the betrayal. Let it fuel you, drive you, shape you into someone they can't touch. Someone who doesn't just survive, but thrives. You want to know the real secret to strength? It's not about being invincible. It's not about never feeling pain, never breaking down. It's about resilience. It's about getting back up every time they knock you down. About staring them in the face, scars and all, and saying, "You can't break me." And when you reach that point, when you become that person, something amazing happens. They stop mattering. Their lies, their betrayals, their absence, it all becomes noise. Background static in the symphony of your life. Because here's the truth, they don't define you. Their actions, their words, their opinions, they're nothing. You are who you choose to be, not who they tried to make you, not who they thought you were. Pretend to be blind, kid, not because you're weak, but because you're watching. Let them show you who they really are. Let them think they've won, and then rise. Not for them, not to prove anything to anyone else. Rise for you. Because at the end of the day, you're the only one who matters. The only one who will be there when everyone else is gone. The only one who knows your worth, your pain, your strength. And when you finally see that, when you finally believe it, they won't just regret losing you. They'll fear you. This isn't about them. It was never about them. It's about you. About finding your strength, your voice, your power. About becoming the person they never thought you could be. And this time, you're not pretending to be blind. You're choosing to see.